Hey, so the spring 2021 anime season is coming to an end, and boy, there were some nice surprises among this season's releases, and some other, well, not so nice surprises. But overall, this definitely wasn't a bad season for anime at all. Although I haven't watched all of the animes that have been releasing because, college, I found myself enjoying the majority of the ones that I did watch. Now, as for the title of the video, let me warn you right now, this list is official. This has been sent to me by the CEO of anime himself, or herself, let's not be sexist here. Contesting its order is ignorant and discouraged, and it may result in the termination of your weeb license. But all jokes aside, this is really just a list of the top 5 animes that I have watched this season, and that you should watch too if you haven't already. Don't worry about any major spoilers for these, I'll just be going through what I think of aspects like story, art, characters, sound, etc. I'll also try to use clips that spoil the least possible. If you'd like, you can leave a comment down below telling me what your top 5 would look like, what animes I should watch. You can't insult me for not putting your favorite anime of the season in here, just anything. But yeah, let's actually get into the list, shall we? At number 5, we have Higahiro, aka I shaved and took in a high school runaway. I gotta say, although this is at number 5, this is probably the single anime that surprised me the most this season. I went into this knowing barely anything about Higahiro except for the fact that it is based on a light novel. And honestly, at least for me, when an anime has a title like this, I get a little bit suspicious of its quality. I like my anime titles simple, stuff like Place to Place, Another, and if I don't successfully pick up 420 girls, I am going to die in a lot of different ways. So, what is Higahiro about? Yoshida, and mind you, that is literally how they refer to him throughout the entire anime, just Yoshida, is a normal guy working a normal job as a programmer, or at least that's what I think he does because I've seen some lines of code in some frames from the anime. One night, Yoshida goes out drinking at a bar to forget the fact that he confessed to his boss the night before and got shut down. And I gotta say, as a fellow programmer, you should have expected that. JavaScript is not very sexy. On his way home, under a streetlight, he finds Ogiwara Sayu, a runaway high school girl from Hokkaido with apparently nowhere to go. Yoshida approaches her and offers for her to stay the night at his place. She later tries to indulge him into, kids, you might want to cover your ears for this one, the adult activity of, sex. Being the fucking absolute alpha Chad that he is, Yoshida rejects her offer, and she later explains how up until this point, no man has let her stay the night without wanting sex in return. After that, Yoshida kinda just takes her under his protection, letting her stay at his place in exchange for her doing housework and not trying to seduce him. Weird that that is a condition, but okay. Anyway, from that point on, the anime develops Sayu's character really well, showing some of her past trauma and how she deals with it. Sayu really falls into that waifu category of must be protected at all costs, and Yoshida is just a true example of a man. That dude really has the willpower of the gods. Overall, Higahiro has a very nice story with good development and solid characters, except for this idiot right here, and some twists that I really didn't see coming. And trust me, I predicted 40% of the end of the future diary correctly, so I know a thing or two about twists. As for the animation, it's not great, but it's not bad. It is pretty consistent. I don't remember looking at a scene and thinking anything looked out of place at any point. The soundtrack isn't really memorable, but it does its job. The opening and ending themes are also not really memorable, which is demonstrated by the fact that both showed in a match of anime music quiz and I managed to get both wrong. Next up, at number 4, we have Combatants Will Be Dispatched. I know what you're saying at this point. What in the Kentucky Fried fuck are you doing? Putting this dumb anime in the top 5 and what the... Look man, I am on my 8th semester of computer science. I am nothing but a hollow shell, a trace of my former self that used to smile radiantly on his way home after school to scam people in RuneScape. I know the anime is stupid, but it's really fucking funny. I am a huge fan of whatever can make me laugh. Doesn't matter if it's good or bad. Anyway, the story of this anime is about who gives a shit. Agent number 6 works for an evil company who wants to take over the universe. He gets sent on a mission in another world. Something artifact. Just go read the synopsis in the My Anime List website, honestly. Like please, do you remember Konosuba's story? Of course you don't. No one does because Konosuba isn't about the story. It's about the laughs. By the way, if you answered yes to that last question, I hope your PP falls off. The point here is, if you like dumb over-the-top humor, like a guy crashing into a party and dropping his dick on top of a king's head, and want some tier-ass waifus to boot, this anime is for you. This is a great watch if you just got done watching Anohana or 5 centimeters per second, or any other depressing show that landed you on suicide watch. But yeah, art, sound, who cares? They're alright. not bad, but not amazing, although the opening theme is actually pretty good. Anyway, moving on to the top 3, and man, these were pretty difficult to pick. If I'm being sincere, and I always am, I have never lied in my entire life, except for maybe this last sentence. You could literally swap any of these 3 shows with one another, and I would still think that that is a valid list. Might as well just consider this a 3-way tie. So yeah, at number 3 we have Tokyo Revengers. Well, the actual name of the series is Tokyo this thing Revengers, you know, with a little swastika in the middle right there. No, it's not the Nazi symbol. The Nazi one is facing the other way, silly. Just go read the Wikipedia page on swastikas, alright? I'm not here to give you a lesson on symbols. But yeah, Tokyo Revengers, good. Really good, actually. It follows the story of Hanagaki Takemichi, a 20-something-year-old and, according to Mao, washed-up non-entity who has no friends, works a garbage job at like a DVD rental place, I guess. A true role model. He finds out that his former girlfriend from his middle school days died along with her brother in an incident caused by the conflict generated by the Tokyo Manji gang. Anyway, one day he gets pushed in front of an oncoming train and gets kinda like half isekai'd, I guess. He gets sent back in time 12 years to his middle school days, back when he still had a cute girlfriend. Hey, good for you, man. And a bunch of friends. You know, that kind of sounds like me when I was in middle school, except for the having a girlfriend and a bunch of friends part. So he does what anyone would have done in that same exact situation. He punches a kid and threatens another 2 with a broken glass bottle. He saves Tachibana Naoto, his girlfriend's brother, and warns him about his future isekai protagonist's like death at the hands of a truck. Wait, did I say hands of a truck? Whatever, he goes back to the future, and wow, the kid is alive, and like all kids who get warned of their deaths by a time traveler, he's now a cop. Since Takemichi can go back in time, they work together in order to save Hinata. That's the name of Takemichi's ex, I forgot to say that, whoops. By having Takemichi go back in time and infiltrating the Tokyo Manji gang so as to prevent the accident from happening. It's really fun seeing a story like this, mixing elements of time traveling and, well, gangs. It's an innovative mixture, and I think it worked out really well in the end. Like most stories involving time traveling, the entertainment resides in seeing how the time travels affect the past, present, and future, and I don't remember ever being bored during an episode, and I'm a master at being bored. I mean, I put myself through all 3 seasons of Oregairu. I know my way around boredom. I like the overwhelming majority of the characters, especially Mikey, who is probably everyone's favorite character from the show. He's like the Gojo Satoru of this anime. I find it very hard that someone will watch this anime and think, wow, this sucks. They might not be impressed by it, but I think it has something for everyone. Oh yeah, almost forgot art, soundtrack, and stuff. The art is pretty good, and from what I've seen, they stayed faithful to the manga. Not in a Gokusufudo kind of way, where it's like you're literally watching a PowerPoint presentation of the manga, but the art in the show just feels like the same art in the manga, but better defined. As for the soundtrack, like the 2 previous ones, they're not remarkable, but in this particular case, I think the soundtrack does a good job of setting the mood in the scenes. Also, the opening theme is like really fucking good. Alright, number 2, 86. I feel like it is expected by everyone for 86 to be in the top 5 animes this season. It's kind of a consensus at this point. Let me just get straight to the point here. In short, 86 is a story about discrimination and freedom. I mean, obviously there's more than that, this isn't Django Unchained, but those are some of the main points. The Republic of San Magnolia is currently on a war against the Gyadian Empire, and to the people of San Magnolia, the so-called Albas, this is a war with no casualties. At least that's what they're told by their nation, but that's not the reality. The Republic of San Magnolia was divided into 86 sectors. The Albas, which all have white hair, all live inside the official 85 sectors, whereas those that look different from the Albas are located in the secret 86 sector, and because of that, they're referred to as 86. So you get where the name of the anime comes from now, right? Anyway, that thing about the war not having casualties was bullshit, because the ones fighting the Empire in the front lines are, you guessed it, the 86s. Seriously though, the amount of discrimination that the 86s suffers is appalling. It's truly a roundhouse kick to the nutsack of the viewer. But worry not, because our main character, Vladilena Milize, aka what I imagine God looks like, ain't gonna take none of that garbage. She is the only social justice warrior that everyone loves. She gets assigned as the handler of the Spearhead Squadron, which, needless to say, is consisted of 86s? What would be the plural? Well, whatever. The thing is, she gets paired up with Shin, the leader of the squadron, the one nicknamed the Reaper, the one who makes the panties of every viewer drop. even the ones who aren't wearing pennies. This guy is tough as fuck and known for being the only survivor of all the squads he's been in. The guy survived 5 years fighting in a war where there's little to no support for him. That's like getting directly hit by a nuclear warhead in the teeth and still surviving. As the story develops, so does the conflict, and we get to learn more about the war, the 86 is, and watch the relationship between these two people from completely different environments grow. 86 is based on a light novel, and honestly, I'm not really too big into light novels, so I don't know how well it translated into the anime, but up until this point, I have enjoyed every single second of each episode, and knowing that the second season is already confirmed gives me hope, which is to say, I just have to live until the second season is done. Oh yeah, art and soundtrack. How do I keep forgetting about these every time? Anyway, they're both great. Unlike the previous 3 animes that I talked about, this time around they're both actually remarkable. The art is high quality all around, including the 3D used for the battle scenes. The soundtrack is, oh, that reminds me, this is extra official, but as of now I am bestowing this anime with not 1, not 3, but 2 whole awards. The first one is Best Opening Theme of the Season, 3 minutes 29 seconds by Hitorie. Dude, what a banger, just like every Hitorie song. Although it's weird that the song is named 3 minutes and 29 seconds since it actually lasts for 3 minutes and 31 seconds, but okay. The second award is Best Waifu of the Season. Obviously, it goes out to Lena. Why is she getting the award? That's an easy one. Well, she has white hair, she's cute, and well, that's really all it takes to get this award from me. Yeah. Before we get to the number 1 spot, some honorable mentions, aka the animes that almost made the list, the ones that were oh so close. I won't go into details for any of them, just know that they're also really good and you should watch them too. So let's go. Vivi Fluorite Ice Song, Shadow's House, Bakuten, which by the way I uploaded a 40-second clip of the Gyaru boy from Bakuten dancing, and that got more views than all of my other videos combined, which I find extremely amusing and depressing at the same time. Pretty Boy Detective Club, Eden Zero, I'm just kidding, did you really think I'd put this shit even in the honorable mentions? And lastly but not least, Odd Taxi. Alright, now for the number 1 spot on the list. Editor, well, I am the editor. Drumroll please. To Your Eternity. Yes, to everyone's surprise, the number 1 spot doesn't go to Nagatoro. But man, what can I say, this anime is, it's just phenomenal. Keep in mind that as of the time of this video's making, the anime is still halfway through its total runtime. We're currently at episode 10 out of 20. This being put at number 1 just goes to show how good it is. The manga is written and drawn by Oima Yoshitoki, who also wrote a little manga called Koe no Katachi. You probably heard of it, perhaps at your nearest Starbucks, or maybe saw it on the Twitter header of the current e-girl that you're simping for. The premise of the show is surprisingly simple. A being is sent to Earth, and I'll refer to it as Fushi because that's the name it is given later on. Initially, it is just a sphere, then it takes on the form of the Attack on Titan fan with the most personality. Oh, sorry, I meant it takes on the form of a stone. Later on, it takes the form of a snow doggo that is about to die. After developing a sort of consciousness, it roams around until it meets a boy living alone in a village. It turns out that all the dumb grown-ups left the village in search of the paradise supposedly beyond all of the snow. Well, there wasn't one, and now the boy is so close to death that even a sip of McDonald's Sprite would send him to oblivion. Which is exactly what happens. Well, not the Sprite part, but the boy does die. Fushi then takes on the form of the boy and departs in an adventure, meeting all sorts of different people, exploring new places, and experiencing all kinds of stimuli. It's really hard to talk about this anime's greatness without spoiling it, but I'll do my best. This anime has by far the best storytelling out of all the shows released this season. Watching Fushi's journey through an unknown world is as pleasant can be. His growth from a literal stone into someone who makes their own decisions and interacts with others is truly an amazing example of good character development. Everything in this anime appeases me, ranging from the character's personality to the setting, even the voice acting. The art is really good and it stays faithful to the original work, and you can instantly tell that this was made by the same mangaka that made Koe no Katachi. The music does a great job of setting the mood, although it's nothing too special, but in summary, this anime does everything well. I wouldn't go as far as to say that this is a 10 out of 10 because I don't hand out 10s like that. I'm not that easy, especially because this show has a concerning lack of white and pink haired waifus. If you haven't watched it already, just please stop doing recreational drugs and go watch it already. Anyway, that was my top 5 animes of the spring 2021 season. At the time of writing, some of these animes still have 1 or 2 episodes left for release, but I just thought I'd make this video already since the season is ending. Like I said before, you're more than welcome to leave a comment telling me your top 5. Recommending me an anime, doesn't matter if it's from this season or not, I'm always open to new anime recommendations. Or just, I don't know, calling me a cretin for not including your favorite anime in this. But yeah, if you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a dislike. Subscribe to the channel and follow me on Twitch because I just told you to. Yeah, that's it for this time. See ya.